Hunt here again. I want to do a road test on the new TaylorMade P790 iron. The last two series of these have been huge in sales. They've been really strong for TaylorMade. It's a sort of leading the market in the category it sits in. It's a type of iron, if you've done any research on it, that it's got all the forgiveness, but it's quite compact for the amount of forgiveness it gives. Really high ball speeds, high launch, very easy to hit. They've got great shafts that come with it in the fitting process. They've got the speed foam inside. Now the new one, this year, the P790, has got the speed foam air. So it's a little bit lighter again, and they can use that discretionary weight, and that's the key word here, to put it in different parts of the club to enhance the performance once again. So I'm going to hit a few of these. I really like the look of it. It sits really compact on the ground. I think this is an iron that I could put in the long irons. I could possibly put it in my 5 and 4 iron, or even 6, 5 and 4. It's that good. It's that good. I'm a traditional blade user, so I'm going to hit my P790, my own personal iron. I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to see the difference between this iron and that iron. It'd be interesting to see how it comes up, how it feels. Is it longer? You know, does it fly higher? All that. I'm sure it does, but I just want to see the two and whether I'd consider using this over this. We'll give it a go. So once again, I'm using the TaylorMade TP5 golf ball, TP5X actually, off a mat, nice and consistent. I've got the TrackMan hooked up, so we'll just hit a few shots and we'll see the data. I know I love this iron. This is so soft and buttery. You know, every time I hit it, they're great. They're an iron you've got to practice. You've got to hit a few balls with. Now, if you haven't hit a few balls or you're not getting much time to practice, they can really hurt you. But it's a great iron. It's not quite as small as the Tiger Woods iron was, but you know, very forgiving, very striking looking iron. I really love the look of it. I love the feel. So just having a look at those shots I've hit, if I get the data up, you can see my club head speed's pretty consistent, 85 miles an hour. The ball speed's 108. You know, that's pretty consistent for me. It's spin rate 6,300. It's carrying 150 yards, 158 total. That's probably pretty right. I haven't hit many balls of late. You know, I normally hit it. If I'm warmed up, hitting full shots, I'll probably hit my 7 iron 160, 65 yards. So I'm sure it'll get longer and longer as I'm hitting it. It's a great feeling iron. So I'll hit a couple more, and we'll see how it goes. We found it does spin a bit, this iron, for me. But you know, for those people who love blades, like myself, even though I probably don't practice enough to use them anymore, fantastic. Will I change? Eventually, I will. This is why I'm interested to see how the new P790 goes, so I'll give that a go. Okay, here I am back with the P790 iron. As I said before, I love the look of it, the nice satin finish with a little bit of chrome in the back. I will put some photos up of that, but looks fantastic. Very compact for an iron that's, you know, all about a bit more forgiveness in it. This is such a great iron. The P770, which is the smaller one, again, amazing iron. So, but I think this series of the P790 is going to be a huge winner. But let's see what the performance does and see how it feels. Just looking down at it, it's a little bit longer, obviously, a little thicker top edge. And this will be interesting, because I didn't hit that very good at all. Right, so straight away, it went reasonably straight, and yep, spin rate's okay. I didn't hit that at all, and that's gone longer than anything I've hit. Yep, there we go. Let's certainly longer than the blade, but you'd expect that. It feels quite soft to hit. It doesn't feel like the traditional iron that's all about distance and all about, dare I say, game improvement. It feels very soft. So it's a serious player's club, as well as a person who, might be that weekend warrior who doesn't get to play as much as they used to, get the right shaft in it, performs really good. It's fantastic. It really does sit well. They've done a great job on it. The sound coming out of it is great. It's pretty much the same as the blade. It's maybe a little bit louder, a little bit clicky, but still very soft. Do a couple more. So I'm pretty happy with that. It'll be interesting to see how the numbers stack up. That last shot I hit was pretty average. Yeah, that feels good. Feels really, really good when you hit it. Would I replace my blades with this? Eventually, yes. I think I would. In the higher irons, I'm using the UDI in the 2 iron. I could easily put this in a 5 and a 4 iron just to get that launch. And those ball speeds are crazy. For something that sits so compact. Yes, I like that. It goes alright. Reasonable ball speed is obviously up. I just threw a Dynamic Gold 105 X100. That's not the standard shaft I would use, but in saying that, it feels fantastic. I'm usually 1 flat in my irons. This sits pretty good. It's a standard iron, but we'll have a look at the numbers. We'll compare. Quite impressed with the hit. So I know the shorter irons are a bit more compact again, so you can play all the way down on the short stuff. But so far so good. Having a look at the numbers now of all the shots I hit. So I hit 10 balls in total, 5 for each club, and you can see the numbers are pretty different, and I'm not surprised, to be fair. So if I go to the 790 first, I averaged 174.5 yards as opposed to my traditional iron, the 7MB, 160 yards. Now, if I was on the golf course, if I was properly warmed up, I would probably think that'd be 6 or so yards a bit further, but I would also think that'd be the same with the P790. So no surprise, the P790 goes a lot further than my blade. No, that's nothing new. But what I will say is it felt great. The interesting thing you can see if I go to the numbers here is that there's always a lot of talk about companies jacking the lofts to get more distance, and I think people misunderstand why they have to bring the lofts down because there's so much tungsten they put in the bottom of the club, which gears it up so they get amazing launch. So like a traditional 7MB with traditional lofts, and then you go to a P790, which the lofts are obviously a little bit stronger. Everybody goes, well, that's why it goes further. But yes, it does because the ball speeds are higher, but it actually goes higher. So the max height on the P790 was 109 feet in the air my ball was going, as opposed to my 7MB, which was 98.6 feet in the air. So, the lofts are stronger, but the ball is going higher. The other big thing is that the ball speed, you can see on the 790, is 9 miles an hour quicker. All right, so the ball's coming off a lot faster. The spin characteristics are all pretty much the same. The thing I did notice is that the clubhead speed is a little bit higher, but not a lot. 3 mile an hour. It's a little bit higher. I was having a think about why that would be. The shaft in the P790 was a 105 Dynamic Gold. It was a little bit lighter than the shaft that was in mine. So but I can't really. Maybe I was just a little bit warmer, but it's not huge. It certainly doesn't explain all the ball speed increase. Um, Spin rates are pretty similar. I'm carrying the ball a lot further. The total distance is a lot more. The landing angle, if you have a look at the landing angle, the way the ball's coming into the green, so you're going to have no problem stopping the ball. So, a proper fitted set, that's going to be a little lower, but, fantastic. So it goes further, no surprise, but it felt great. It didn't feel like a club that when you hit it, you don't know how far it's actually going to go. It felt like I had control over the ball. It felt like I knew how far it would go, and it just felt great off the club. And that's something you don't normally get in that part, well, that equipment for that type of iron. So well done, TaylorMade. I love my P7MBs. There's no surprise there, but you know I might be looking at P770s, I think, because I don't do the practice I used to, and I could obviously do with a little bit of extra ball speed. And if I can still get the feel, I don't see what the big issue is. You know, put them in the bag. People are only going to want to look at how far you hit it, and how close you hit it to the hole and what score you have. I'm happy to go with a lower score if the club's going to give me that. So well done, TaylorMade. Well done on this new model. I think it's going to be a winner once again, and it's great to see. I might have to change. If you have any other equipment that you want me to test, please let me know. I'll get it here. I'll test it. I know I've done TaylorMade here today, but I'll do any equipment. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to try to find more. Keeps me busy in lockdown. I hope this give you something to look at during the lockdown, and we've learned a little bit today.